The Bible says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. For thou, O God, art a shield unto me, my glory, and the lifter of my head. Ìwọ ni ògo mi àti olùgbé orí mi sókè ní ayé. If you know the Lord is your glory, wherever you are, jump up on your feet. Mo fẹ́ràn rẹ, ìfẹ́ náà títóbi ní ìgbìmọ̀, alágbára ní ìṣe, àgbo àtọ́ ilé Olódùmarè. It's amazing how you love. It's amazing how it's amazing how you love me, Lord. It's amazing how you do the things you do. Everybody is on it. Oh, yeah, give me chance. I want to praise my God. Oh, there you go. Give me chance to praise my God. I said, give me chance. I want to praise my God. I said, give me space. I want to pray. I need bloody run for me. I want to pray. Everybody go line up. On a single pole, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your neighbor's shoulder like this, everybody. Tell neighbor, say my neighbor. My neighbor. By the time God is through with me. By the time God is through with me. Wagba. Wagba. You gotta call it. So we made Jesus Loni World Bank. Jesus Loni World Bank. Oh, me so. Rárá o, áńgẹ́lì Olúwa lè rí. Hold your neighbor's shoulder like this. At this junction, you are not permitted to stay in one place. Tell your neighbor, say, Makwe. Oh, yeah, oh, some. Something. Oh yeah,
Yeah, welcome. Bueno. Hey, welcome. Yeah. All right. Welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. This is a very odd time for us, so I'm just gonna get right into the content. We got a lot of content to cover today. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Do me a favor, hit the like button as you're coming in, as you're watching the replay. Anyhow, nonetheless, I'm just gonna drop all the content here. When you do find this later, make sure you're hitting like, share, subscribe, and if you're the one person in the chat, watching live, I appreciate you for being here. Welcome. Just help me hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We have a few topics to cover this evening, and I'm gonna have fun doing it regardless. I've got a lot of fun stories to cover tonight. Okay, so what we do here is we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics, and I've got quite a few of them tonight that we need to jump right into. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so first thing first, I'm going to cover this story. I'm going to tell you a quick story about a woman who joined her life, and she had a question. I'm going to ask you the one question, and I want to know your opinion about it. I think your opinion will be interesting, and I think when we rub minds together on this story, I think it's going to be interesting. She's the one that forbade her kids from speaking to their father. But I'm going to tell you, there's always a backstory to all this kind of stuff, right? There's always a backstory, and that's the part that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Everybody want to make judgmental statements. They want to make conclusions off of maybe trendy, sensationalized stories. Oh, they kicked me out. Oh, they called the police on me. Oh, men are wicked. Oh, women, they are wicked. You know, you hear all kind of stuff. Just people, gross generalization. Generalization is human characteristics. It's one of our ways of coping, of securing ourselves by securing our confirmation biases, or looking for confirmation bias, if you will. So it's one of the things we do to cope, to be able to sustain what we call life. Life can be tough on people. Let's be honest. Okay. So this young lady came up on the live, and she asked a question. She said she had in Africa, there's a lot of trafficking going on right now. If you recall, a few days ago, I didn't really cover the story here, but there's a young lady. She's a little bit older now, Miss Jumoke George, Nigerian actress. The daughter she had been looking for the daughter for 4 years. Okay, so come to find out, she was in Mali. Okay, all the way from Mali. So there's a lot of young girls of any type of age, trafficking going on between Africa and even Europe. You know, people will ship people to the abroad only to find out that they were there supposed to do a low show. If you can't do a low show, then you have to become a house girl. But of course, you can do a low show, you can make a lot more money. A low show is prostitution. All right, but she said she decided, basically she had a few children for this particular man. And she decided that I think she left. I'm not sure. I don't remember that part of the story even, but she left or something like that. Anyway, they were no longer together, but they had like 2 kids together. And she would ask this guy for money to help with the upbringing, the well-being of the children. but the guy just completely ignored her. And of course, we know that for every bad story out there, there's a lot of them. Okay, it might not be majority, but it's one too many of any bad stories out there. So if you see somebody say, "Hey, this is what men did to me," there's probably too many of those stories out there. So they are all legit. Okay, same thing when it comes to the other side of the gender. But anyway, she said she asked this guy for money to help with the upbringing of the children, but they were basically no longer he was nowhere to be found. He didn't help. He ignored them. He ignored the children. He did not help. So what did she do? She decided that she was gonna go look for a greener pasture, and she put her kids in boarding school. The kids were supposed to come home to her sister or something like that, their auntie, and she would send money home, and she went on a journey to go and find money. So basically, she went to an Arab country somewhere where she was being made. Okay, so she would send money home. She would tell, but then she did this one thing. She banned the kids. She forbade the kids from calling their father. She said, "I banned them. I told them they are not allowed to talk to their father. They're not." I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect. She basically said he will block him. He said he blocked him completely from seeing the kids. He didn't want them to see the kids. And he also trained, she basically admitted to training these kids that they have no relationship with their father and they cannot talk to their father. And she nurtured them, and they, as they were growing up, that's basically what they knew as the rule, that they're not allowed to talk to their father. So even when people will suggest anything that has to do with their father, I think he was still around, just not living life with them. The kids knew enough to say, we're not allowed to talk to that person. So she came on the live session on TikTok, and she basically gave this story, and she had one question. Okay, she had one question, and the question was she wrong? So it's the same question that I have for you right now. Was she wrong? Okay, she had her reasons, right? She said this guy completely abandoned the children, and she did not want a situation where this guy will come and sabotage them in the future. Or they said there's some men that are like, if I can't have them, you can't have them too. So it's basically, as far as she was concerned, it's dangerous to the kids. Any form of exposure to him will be dangerous to the kids and their lives, right? And then she also believed that many people that were also speaking to the conversation, many of them believe that such guys, if they don't want the kids, but they don't want any kids out there by them either, so they can do things to harm the kids. So they were saying all these different harmful potentials of the fact that this is their father, but also it's dangerous to have any kind of exposure to him at all. Okay, so now, of course, a lot of ladies were like, yeah, this African man, they will come later on and they will want to eat out of the labor that they never donated or contributed to. That is terrible. So in one way, on one side of the equation, I'm looking at like, okay, is it so they don't come and participate in harvest in the future, or is it because you're trying to protect the kids, right? Those are two questions that I personally have for anybody who feels the same way. The reality is that somebody said like meaning somebody is angered, somebody's angry, right? Somebody's angry. They are bitter. They are resentment is probably a better word, right? They are resentful about the idea that somebody will plug them up with babies and basically abandon them, right? And so does that justify forbidding the kids from seeing their father or blocking the kids off of them? Now, I've seen a lot of ladies in recent times will say, hey, don't ever do that. Don't block the kids from seeing their father. I generally don't give such advice because I think that advice is does not get to the root of the issue. That's personally, So I don't just give that, hey, don't do that, because I don't know, and especially when people are mixing in diabolical stuff, or they're afraid that some babalawo might do something, or some witch, somebody's mother might do something to their kids. There's only so much I can speak to that without on the surface. The advice we just go through one ear and go through the other side, right? It won't matter. But this person is asking now, right? This person is saying, was I wrong? They want to know. Another question that keeps coming to mind for me on this one is this: if she's so confident that she's not wrong, why is she asking? Right? It doesn't mean she's wrong. I'm just saying it sounds like she's not confident on her decision too, right? Then somebody now came and joined the conversation and said, and the person started crying, and the person was like, well, that's how one man did this and that to her, and the guy completely denied that they ever had anything together. And 32 years later, the guy came back and sent somebody random and said he wants to get to know his daughter. And after the conversation, he was even bragging and said, oh, I can't wait to tell the whole world. It will feel like when they showed him the picture, it will feel like it's my girlfriend. Like, oh, I can't wait to get to know her. 32 years. Okay. So like I said, there's no amount of this type of story that's okay. It's one, too many, right? So we have to treat each case all individually. We have to basically treat it like majority, because the reality is that anybody that has gone through this kind of stuff is going to feel like majority to them, which is why they might generalize. They might even assume that the whole world is going through it, especially if they find another person. Misery loves company. If they find another person that corroborates that same story and they said they've gone through it, they're going to assume that there's no possible way to have a healthy situation. But again, here's the question. She wants to know if she was wrong. And I'm asking you, I want to know what you think about that. Was she wrong to forbid the kids from speaking to their father, considering her experience, the fact that the guy had abandoned them for years? Was she wrong to feel that way? Because the guy hasn't even come back yet. Remember, I told you two stories. The other one, the guy reached out 32 years later. But the first one, the main one I'm talking about today, the person has not even reached out to even say, so she's just saying, well, I kind of blocked him too everywhere, but it seems like somebody who is not making any effort to see his kids too. Does she have the right to forbid the kids from speaking to their father? That's my question for you. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. And we're going to move on to the other stories. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Diddy, the Diddy story. Puff Diddy, Puff Daddy, P Diddy, PD, aka PD, who has a case that's been brought against him by the federal government of the United States of America. All right, so but in this story, we're going to talk about why love becomes a prison. Cassie and Diddy exposed. All right, we're going to talk about that. So somebody left a comment. We've been covering it. I try to catch up with some of them, but I've been following it. I'll bring you a little bit up to speed on this particular session. But somebody left. So if he, again, there's a trial is going on right now. The trial, basically, they have charges of racketeering against him. They have sex trafficking. What else? Basically a RICO, okay? A RICO, meaning enterprise criminal behaviors over several years, okay? So they're going through that right now. Cassie, the ex-girlfriend for years, who had already won a lawsuit for $20 million, who she was settled in 24 hours. She also won additional $10 million through the hotel. Cassie was also Cassie was a star witness in the, today they've had Kid Cudi, they've had a few people, they've had his ex-bodyguard and things like that. But why am I covering this today? I'll bring you up to speed with other stuff later on. But somebody left a comment, and I thought we should talk about the comment. All right. The first comment that I saw. Okay. All right. Here we go. The person said, "One thing I have come to understand in this Diddy versus Feds and Cassie case is a lot of people, especially the men, are trying to slut shame Cassie and make it look like she wasn't hurt or that she wanted it. She was just 18 when she got into a crowdship disguised as relationship." All right. So, unfortunately, you're going to have more than enough people hold her accountable for her decisions as an adult. Even though, as normal people, when we bring in morals to it, we feel differently, right? So she, unfortunately, that in a society, there's a number where you cut off, you become an adult, and or you're a child. Well, when you're 18, you're an adult, and she was making decisions, and she's made those decisions for more than a decade now on a consistent basis. It doesn't mean she wasn't a victim, right? In the same token, as much as they want to hold her accountable and she should be prepared for that, men should also know that they don't have the luxury of saying, "I will hold you accountable." You can go to jail for the rest of your life for messing with the wrong people or victimizing people even when they're adults. So that's something that men should pick up from this. So she was just 18 when she got into the crowdship. Okay, she even fell in love with Diddy at a point, according to her. And that's how it is for most women in an abusive relationship. "I wish I can use voice note. This clowns treat you well and make you fall for them from the start." See that statement right there? That statement lacks accountability. They treat you well and you fall for them, not make you fall for them. When you say make you fall for them, that's lacking accountability, right? But again, I'm telling the men, they don't have the luxury to talk at a victim the way I'm saying it right now. They don't have that, and they shouldn't count on it, and they should move like people who have a lot of power in society. When you're a man, you will be accountable to a lot more when it comes to this kind of stuff, and that's just the reality. And as a man, you're supposed to know or operate from a place of reality, and don't confuse it with emotions, because a lot of men are operating from a place of emotions and calling it logic. There's a lot of confusion everywhere. But when you say make you fall for them, is let me guess, we're about to go into love bombing. Somebody love bombed you, but you took the gift. There's problems with that, and you're gonna see those problems show up more and more, because you see that men are starting to say, "We're not gonna just accept." I don't think it's gonna be sustainable, because the society of men, women, and children, men are still gonna have to be accountable for the safety or security of everybody. It's just what it is, right? And you should be, because when you were in love with the girl, you are accountable. So you should stay accountable. Anyway, I'm still reading the comments. Let's go here. So Daddy Freeze was involved in this, I guess. So Daddy Freeze is just speaking from his feelings, no critical thought or analysis or even experience. Okay. I feel like Diddy might win the case, or at least change the narrative around the Cassie story. But all these people that are saying, and I quote, "I am not saying he's a good man." Oh, especially those men and boys with diddler tendencies. Lobaton. Who are these people you're talking about? Give us names. I'm just one thing to tell. I have just one thing to tell you. Holy Weird is demonic. That's Hollywood, right? It's demonic, corrupt, full of evil deeds and abuse. A lot of them fellow celebs and some outsiders have confirmed going to a freak off ritual party, witnessing hit transporting. So what's transported, like sex trafficking? So no matter what you say about Cassie, the world already know many things about what's happening in Hollywood, and some celebs have confirmed it too. So believe Cassie or not, we already know a lot is going on there, even more than what is being recounted in court. And to a whole lot of people out there, Diddy and a lot of powerful people, celebs, are all guilty. Diddler. I heard that Diddy himself is also a victim. Think about that, right? So we don't get to say people make us do stuff. Not in reality, but men especially, you don't get to say that. You're responsible for your actions and your reactions. Okay. So it said there's a lot of diddler folks, and the world would never look at them the same again. See, when there's a lot of money that seems to be easy, yeah, people will misbehave. That's how I see Hollywood, what you or whatever you want to call it. I see it as it's a lot of money, a lot of windfall, too much money way too fast for a lot of young people that build up bad habits when their frontal lobe is not yet developed, right? And so they develop all these bad habits and they continue to give them all this money. Who gave them money? Us. We paid for the entertainment. So they become a few of them, a few percentage, of course. They become very super powerful over time, and then they don't know what to do with themselves, you know? So we're not responsible for the action. We didn't make them do anything, but I agree with you. Hollywood is weird, but I think it should be expected, okay? Because also one of the ways they entice people into that world. So that's why I think I said that in that last video. You have to train your kids. Make sure you help your kids develop character so that nobody can deceive them with money or sex. Okay? Keep in mind what I just said. Men can be deceived with sex. Women can be deceived with money. Okay? And they are very easy things to deceive people with. And it's at different layers. So you might be like, I'm not like Diddy. Well, it's at different layers. Some of you are looking for marriage and you can be deceived with marriage. Some men are looking for just their next livelihood, just their next bread and butter, and they can be deceived with that too. So how do you defend against all of this? Character. Help your children build character. Help them build character. Help them build intrinsic value beyond just money and sex. If you do that, I think they'll be equipped with enough to sustain, to build in this world. Hi Chidima, why are you greeting Prestige family? It's only me and you here. Okay, me and you are family. Welcome. Good to see you, Chidima. All right, so character. Help your children build character so that they don't get swayed away by the love of sex and money. When I say that, you have to broaden it. It's not just that you like sex. You don't have to be a freak off before they can still sway you away by the idea of relationship. Why is relationship such a hot topic? Because people are obsessed with it. Okay, and if you're going to do it right, you're gonna have to build character. You need to be stronger than surface level rhetoric. All right, you're gonna have to be stronger than surface level rhetoric. All right, all right. That's we're gonna move on. We have some other stories to cover. Let me see here. Yep, we got some other stories to cover. And hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I will be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. So Diddy has something to share with us. We're still on Diddy. Diddy is in custody of the feds. He's going through a massive case. Okay. And is going through a RICO case that's been brought against him by the feds, not Cassie. Cassie is just a star witness. So anybody who is making all kind of shalaye around how Cassie is also guilty, you will have to bring some evidence, because right now it's looking too bad for Diddy.
Explain, because no evidence.
It's looking too bad for Diddy. You heard me? All right. So with that being said, there's this short video, a quick throwback that I want to play. Diddy was on Breakfast Club, I guess, some few years back. And let's listen to it together, and then I'll talk about it. All right. He has something to say about what it takes to be in a relationship. He's going to teach us about relationship. Let's see.
I can promise you that I'm in a relationship with you, like 25% of your time, you're gonna just like feel like, oh man, I hate being here. Oh man, I hate this guy. Oh man, he cheated on me. He lied on me. That's 25%. You know what I'm saying? But then there's 75% of I'm gonna make you the happiest woman in the whole wide world. I'm gonna be there to support your dreams. I'm gonna be there to hold you, listen to you. I'm gonna be there to be your best friend. And I promise you'll smile the most. You know who I am. This is what it is. 25%, 75%. Which deal would you choose?
Now, for most of you guys, don't try this at home.
Don't try that at home.
Because
you gotta be
this probably isn't going to work for you.
To get that on.
No, you have to be honest. Marriage is about honesty.
Not try this at home.
Marriage is about honesty. This is a different type of marriage. Let's go into a new time, a different type of marriage. Married men in here don't get, flustered. Let's be honest.
Charlamagne said, damn,
I'm bringing 25% of some bullshit. Okay?
Now, can she tell you 20% of the time you're going to say the same thing to her and feel the same way, and the other 75% of the time you'll be happy?
Yeah, but try this. If she can promise me that 75% of the time, I'll take that.
Nah, girl,
Take that.
What?
And she can do the other 25%.
You can't let the girls cheat, Diddy. No.
No. I didn't say. That was my list.
Oh, that's your list.
Oh, so our list is different.
Yeah, her list. Maybe I'm just talking about me. I can only speak for me, and what I could offer is that happiness. Because if not, and you are in a 50-50 situation, young lady, you are marrying somebody, you're in a 50-50 situation, and the statistics, you know what I'm saying? You have to weigh your
statistics.
Is
Now, Diddy knows how to make money, so of course it might bring statistics into it. And before he's been locked up now, he's going through all this right now. So in hindsight, people are like, oh man, that nigga's a freak. He is such a freak. Yeah, but you should have been able to hear this kind of stuff a few years ago and say, he's full of shit, right? But I bet you couldn't. You had to wait until they get picked up, and then it becomes a scapegoat, and you probably still didn't learn because you're like, I'm not a freak like him. No, what he's saying is something you can learn from. All right, 25% BS, meaning there's going to be basketballs, and 75%, right? And as you can see, all the hosts of the show, they were like, don't try this at home. They were joking. But let's put all jokes aside, okay? There's something to what he's saying. Let me look at this comment. Somebody said this conversation in front of his son. Bear in mind, he has daughters. Well, he said 25%. Many of you, a lot of people are not listening to what he just said. They just, they're more paying attention to the freak off stuff. But let's talk about it. So somebody said, can you imagine his response when one of his daughters says that someone said this to them? Well, he said 25%. BS. On the surface, it sounds like, okay, yeah, we will. Some people will agree. We say, yeah, sometimes we argue. That's still a good deal, especially if some people are going to come out and say they're dealing with abusive relationship all around. When people paint this picture of abusive relationship, doesn't it sound like 100% of the time that's what they're going through, right? So if he's offering you a 75% joy deal and 25% BS, he said, what is that? A good deal. Why can't you take that, right? Take that. Anyway. Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're talking about an emotional experience, right? All you need is 1% terrible emotional experience to poison the whole thing. That's all you need. That's something that Diddy didn't understand. That's something that majority of us struggle to understand. We try to measure these things in pragmatic, scientific ways, but we leave out the biggest variable, which is human emotions, right? So he called it 25%. Wouldn't you take the deal? Right? How are you going to take that kind of deal? I know how, because you're just telling the truth, right? Let's see, what did he say? Let's be honest. Marriage is not always about happiness, right? And so when somebody receives a terrible experience around you, and that's what occupies their brain, and to you, what do you think Diddy means by joy? He probably means money, Chanel bags, nice stuff, Gucci bag. That's probably what he meant by that, right? That's probably what he can offer. Maybe a little bit of freak off parties, right? So imagine if somebody has that 1% experience and they have the fear. To you, it's just the 1% of poison, right? To them, every time they remember that experience, they have fear. That fear occupies their very existence in their head. You are saying, get out of your feelings. But how do I get out of my feelings? By the way, that's your feelings talking, right? So everybody's confused. It's problems. Shout out to Uncle Beno. I see you, Uncle Beno. Yeah. Wow, I've not heard Brother Love talk in a minute besides the Cassie apology. I must say that man is smart. Maybe not intelligent, but definitely smart. You know, he was dropping quote unquote gem. Nobody's listening anymore because he's the biggest freak of human history, right? So they're not listening anymore. But if some people listen to that 5 years ago, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's be honest, right? Forgetting that, hey, all you need to slap somebody one time. They will always remember that you slapped them once upon a time. And they're always wondering, is he going to slap me again? So now they can't tell you the actual truth they want to tell you. They don't feel the freedom to tell you. They're protecting you and them at the same time. So the day they bust open, you'll be like, but you never told me, but it was 75% joy all the time. You laughed. You took the yacht. You took all the gift. Why didn't you say no? So lames like P. Diddy, of course, will not know that. He wouldn't know until it's too late. Even if you told him, he wouldn't listen. Because what? Because he said statistics, 25% BS, 75% joy. Why can't you just take the deal? What's wrong with the deal? But, you know, yeah, somebody maybe in hindsight 2020, somebody said, can you imagine? No, somebody said 25% full of abuse, drama, manipulation with degrading and traumatic action is not acceptable. You, Diddy, and others like you. So that person get the gist, right? So all it has to be is 1%. No, all it has to be is 0. If it's countable, that's all it has to be. If it's memorable of a bad experience, that's all it has to be. You can buy all the gift you want, call it joy. You can come up with your own form of joy all you want. It's really the person who is experiencing you. It's in the eyes of the beholder. They get to determine. What did you say? You said 25%. No, it's 100%. No, you lie. No, that's a lie. Why are you telling lies? Because that's your experience. See, you're still stuck on your own idea of the truth. You're calling them a liar, and you're making it even worse. So who's going to tell the truth? Well, you could change the story now. You can listen actively. You could change the story. Some people are not going to listen. They're going to wait until it's too late. They're going to wait until they hit rock bottom, and sometimes it's just too late. Sometimes that's just too late. When I say too late, it's too late to redeem whatever they're trying to save. It could be a marriage. Now she's filed for divorce and you're begging and she's done. And she's been talking to you for, she said it's a long time. But you remember that 2 conversation. You're like, no, you haven't. No, I thought we were over this. Well, it's under 25%. What's wrong with this woman? Well, it's not exactly 25% for them. It's basically 100% of their whole experience. Right? No, they could give you, they say, yeah, you did buy me the Chanel bag. Yes, you bought, what did Jada said, right? You blow money on me. You spend all that money, $40,000-$50,000 on a birthday party. But that was just your ego. And then you're surprised. Then you're confused. Well, like, why do you keep encouraging these people? No, it's not me. I'm telling you your reality. That's what's happening to you, isn't it? Yeah, face yourself in the mirror and ask you, why am I still arguing with my destiny? Hit the like button, please, 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 please. Hit the like button. Let me know what your thoughts about this. Would you take the deal from Diddy? That's my question for you. Would you take this deal from Diddy? 25% BS, some bullshit, and 75% joy. Everything you've ever asked for in your life. Materialistic things, probably, but maybe it's quality time, maybe some freak off. Would you take that 75% from Diddy or whatever your Diddy is? Maybe it's not a real Diddy. Would you take it? I just want to know. Just asking, just curious. Anyway, moving on, we have some other stuff to cover. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So today they had on the Diddy story, they had Kid Cudi. I think Kid Cudi, who is Kid Cudi? He's a rapper. What we now know is that he used to date Cassie for a little bit of time. He's a 41-year-old man. I think he's a rapper, right? Let me see. Yeah, he's a rapper. I never listened to his music before. But anyway, he's getting popular today because of this Diddy story. He was the one that, Diddy is going through the feds case of RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking. Everybody thinks it's Cassie versus Diddy. Is not, gentlemen. It's feds versus Diddy. Okay, why are they painting a picture of domestic violence? Welcome to the real world. They're just painting his character. They want to put him away for life. If you don't understand that, get used to it. All right. So Kid Cudi was testifying today, and a couple of things that he had to say. Let me see. Kid Cudi admits both he and Diddy were played. Okay, said both him and Diddy were played. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at let's see here. So he told the story of what happened. Basically, he said they were dating. It was like a break, some sort of break they had on and off relationship, Cassie and Diddy, right? And at one point, Diddy found out that they were dating, and Diddy put a threat out, and then Cassie called Cudi and said, hey, he found out, right? Be careful, right? There's some threats, whatever, And he got home to his house. He found out that his security camera had been moved. His dog was locked up his dog was actually locked up in a bathroom, So one of the things that he said is that he heard his dog, And then he put a call out to Diddy and said, no, somebody called him and said they saw Diddy camping out in a car near his house, right? All right, so thinking security with all that money, okay? All that money, right? Think about someone like P. Diddy being so insecure about a young Cassie. I'm looking at Cassie. Cassie she's pretty, but she's not the prettiest girl in the world, okay? I don't know if she's black. Is she black? Well, she's light-skinned, and she's not the prettiest girl in the world, okay? So the only thing that can make a guy want to destroy his own life, or ended up destroying his own life because of a Cassie, because that's what happened here. Some people will say, well, women, Obering, will pull you down from the very, very top. Well, that doesn't happen without demand and supply. What were you doing there? Beauty. All right, so but what would make a young lady, she is pretty, okay, but what would make a girl the age of your daughter, right, potentially pull you down in this way? The only thing I can think of is something deeply rooted, some kind of deficit mentally, internally, right? Some kind of internal battle. I can only think of insecurity. Okay, that's what I can think of. So he now put a call. Cudi put out a call. This is according to the testimony today. I'm paraphrasing, right? He put out a call to Diddy and said he wanted to fight him, and Diddy actually said, I'm on my way. Right? So, and then he called the police. So there's actually a police report. He called the police, and I think about a couple of years later, I think this was 2013, about 2016, there was a cut on top of his Porsche, the car, and the car was on fire. Somebody called him, and then the car was on fire, and that was also traced back to Diddy. And then he said years later, Diddy actually, Puff Daddy actually apologized for the bullshit. Right? He actually apologized for the bullshit. Right? Let me see here. I'm looking for a post here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so he apologized for the bullshit years later. And then by the time he was done with his testimony today, there was actually a post here where he actually said, they asked him, you were played, right? And he said, yes. You were played by who? Miss Ventura. Let me see. I think this is it right here. Let me see 1 second here. Yeah, the post here say by, I think it's one of the defense attorneys. Then he said, yes. He said, the person who played you is the same person who played Sean, Miss Ventura. True? And he said, true. So now, what do you think about that? What do you take out of that? Chidima says for Diddy, it's not about Cassie being pretty, it's about control, or more accurately, losing control. Yes, yeah, I can connect that together with a deeply rooted internal battle, right? He has the money, he can control with money, he can, but in terms of controlling persons or the situation, but what, like, he could literally get rid of Miss Ventura and just say, that's it, I don't want to deal with her anymore, I can have other girls, right? And he will have a whole lot of other people to control, because a lot of people are coming out to say, no, this guy was this, and we believe that because it's a consistent behavior, right? So he would have more than enough people to control. But what is it about this obsession with this one girl, right? What is it about him? So maybe it's control, I'm just thinking it out loud. I just know that it's something deeply rooted, is some kind of deficit, internal deficit, something that money, obviously there's no amount of money that could have fixed it, So he said, the person who played you is the person who played Sean, Miss Ventura. So I'm now wondering, what do people think about that? I'm just curious. What do people think about that? So leave your comments. I would like to know what you think about it, but I'm just going to look at some of this comments here. Somebody said she's starting to look more like a co-defendant than a victim. Give Diddy some domestic violence charges and wrap this shit up by summer. It's not a domestic violence. That's easy. He already settled that, because I think it's beyond statute of limitations too. So they settled that in the civil court already for $20 million. All right. Imagine dating a girl, then getting your car bombed. The girl breaks up with you to save your life, and you bounce into court full of smoke and defend that guy. So this is looking like he came there to defend Diddy, because he said Diddy apologized eventually, and then he now said he got played as well. I can't wait to see what the manosphere will say about this. I don't think Cassie is as innocent as she's letting on, folks. That's what some people are saying here. Okay. Now I'm looking at the kid Cudi. I don't know if I would really value much of what he has to say about this case, but they're going to value it in the court of law. Promise you. Okay. They're going to do everything in their power to put some value on what he just said here. Someone says, Cassie on trial or Diddy here? Shake my head. It's Diddy. So it's two sides to that. There's a defense, and there's the government trying to put him away. Cassie is the real mastermind here. There you go. Somebody said this one is simple. She wanted to move on, but clearly couldn't. When you are in an abusive relationship, this is very normal, right? Okay, so you got played. Could it be that you were see, that's what I tell about all these lame guys, man. Could it be that you were a rebound? You thought you were special, but you found out that you were a rebound after you got your. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, could it be? It's a question. And then you got your car bombed, your dog got abused, your house got abused. People were scattering stuff all over your house. People broke into your house, into your home. Put your life at risk because of a girl. If a girl, what's the lesson here? Okay, what's the lesson here right now? Somebody who is emotionally involved with another person, you're messing with them, and they are now calling you to come and save them, and you want to go and save her. Because he also said she called at one point, and then after they said they had broken up, and then you went there to pick her up. Would you don't road you shall know, but be careful. Be careful. She was not intentionally trying to play him. Somebody said, when you're in an abusive relationship, this is very normal. She was not intentionally trying to play him. Maybe she had a little hope she could unlove her abuser and move on and victimize another person, right? Puffy wasn't just some basic abuser. I can't begin to imagine how trapped she felt. So many women living this nightmare daily. Honestly, I don't even know where the lesson is going. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. I'm curious to see how you think of all of this. Someone said two things can be true. Even if she played him, they're still both victims of Diddy. true. That is true. That is true. That is true. Adama, hey Adama, good to see you. I didn't notice you were there. Sorry, Adama. Yeah, so yeah, two things can in fact be true. Someone said she left Diddy for Cudi but would cheat on Cudi with Diddy. So she feels safe enough to leave and start a new. That kind of girl will go back and forth between the two of you and probably end up settling with Diddy. Don't be surprised. Okay. He felt played by a woman who was beaten and tortured every damn day in every way. Not every day. See, they're doing the math wrong, right? These are people taking extreme sides with Cassie because they don't want to learn anything from this. Okay, all they're hearing is every day, every day. So you want to wait until. So now you won't know when to leave because you're waiting for someone to abuse you every day, every day. When you could just be like, okay, this person is unhealthy. Just one time they need to seek help before we continue with anything. You see how we miscalculate? Anyway. That's all I have on that story. I just want to hear your story. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe Kid Cudi, or do you think it's been bought, or do you think what do you think this is? Do you also feel confused like this is the what is this? Like is this Cassie? Is Cassie or I want to hear your thought. Let me know what you think about this. Were you surprised that this is what Kid Cudi had to say about this? Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified when we go live. Moving on. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, we're done with the Diddy story for now. I have a question. Did FUNKE ruin Femi Adebayo's marriage? Who is FUNKE? Who is Femi Adebayo? These are some of our superstars. Nigerian Nollywood. Let us brief. Yes. Nigerian Nollywood. Don't tell me you don't know what Nollywood is. Don't try it. Nollywood Afrobeat. Our pride. Our biggest export. Now, Trump is trying to tax us for exporting anyway. Another story entirely. But did FUNKE is the biggest actress in Hollywood, in my opinion. I think the numbers also confirms that. I'm not sure. But one of the biggest actors is Jagun Femi Adebayo, who is son of a legendary Ogabilo Adebayo, who is also a legend, who is still a living legend. Okay. So there's this story, this rumor story that got leaked by Gist Lover a few days ago. I saw people discussing it, but I just came across it again today. So to some of you, it might be a stale gist, but you know my commentary is never stale. So stay put, hang out, okay? Because I think there's some lessons in this for all of us. All right, so I'm going to read. This is what Gist Lover had to say about this. It says, actor Femi Adebayo hits The Rock amidst infidelity accusations. Hello, twe. GLB Nation O2T0 Wahala in the Adebayo dynasty. Allegedly. Everything on this live stream is alleged, okay? You all know Femi Adebayo's wife now, Iyanola Duke. Let's just call her Duke. I don't know what that is. Okay. She got married to Femi some years back. After Femi's first marriage hits the rocks, and things were going on fine in the family except constant fight about infidelity because Femi goes after anything under skirt. Only give away prick ni Femi. Anima Shawn. I had that one. Anyway. Don't judge a man for being generous. Cause trouble prick. On several occasions, Aduke will fight anybody that she smell, will knock her husband, will have sex with her husband, or sleep with her husband. It doesn't always sit well with Femi, but family helped them settle. But this old saga that broke the camel's back between Aduke and FUNKE Akindele, our own FUNKE Jennifer Akindele, in Oyo State on a movie set. The trouble started at Ibrahim Chatta's film village when Aduke storms the film village where her husband was shooting and FUNKE was playing lead role. She accused FUNKE Akindele of dating her husband, because according to her, FUNKE was the cause of her husband's previous failed marriage. So this is the present marriage now, and she's saying, you were the cause of previous failed marriage. I don't want you to ruin this one for me. Things got so messy that the hotel they alleged Aduke broke things there, even TV. Femi was made to pay for damages. She vowed to come online and drag both of them. Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you like this. Call the police. If she's breaking things, she doesn't have to break your head. She has to break property. Call the police. And you have to put that there real quick. Call the police. She needs to sleep in jail for 3 days. Okay? And it's even better if it's a Friday, so that the court cannot open until Monday. I'm talking like westernizer, but just work with me. Just call the police, okay? All right. One would think the Wahala go stop for Oyo after they got to Lagos. She started the Wahala again. And this time she said she will make sure she spoil Femi's Netflix deals. Okay, it's very destructive behavior, right? Allegedly. Okay. And drop FUNKE too. She wants physical and Femi left the house. She went physical and Femi left the house, took few clothes and went to rent an apartment on the island. Femi insisted that he's an actor and can be with anybody. He said he is tired of the marriage and Aduke should I say make Aduke color for him house. She refused. Okay, I don't know what that means. Luckily for Femi, Aduke and one of her close friends had a big fight. Okay, Aduke threatened say him go tell her friend husband how her friend they do jazz. What? Anyway, Aduke is threatening to tell on a friend that she is doing juju, that she's doing voodoo. Okay, that's how friend vex. Before Aduke could even tell her friend husband, the friend forwarded all the voice note, video, and all angle. Then they gather go do jazz, like everywhere they go to go and do their voodoo. She forwarded it to Femi, the friend, they are now pissed off together. So that person forwarded it to Femi, and that's how family got involved. Aduke want to key their son. The family stepped in amidst all this Wahala. The new car that Femi bought Aduke, she used it. She got into an accident. Luckily for her, she survived the accident, but the car is a write-off. Can people confirm the accident? We don't know if this story is true. It's just lovers, so we're just saying. This made the Adebayo family furious and talk that the wife has incurred lot of loss on their sons, the Adebayo, the Ogabelos and them, right? Allegedly. Aduke on the other side said she's pregnant and won't leave her husband's house. Some of Femi family talk that it's a lie. She's trying to play a fast one. That the juju that she took a hold of their brother is fading off. Okay, this is typical. A lot of people go through this in Nigeria. People will just accuse and say, hey, you bottled our child. Let him breathe. Femi brother came to the house to pick few of our brother things. Hold on 1 second. How far have we gone on this one? Why is my thing ringing in my head? Okay, all right. No problems. No wala. We got a few more minutes. All right. Pardon me, guys. Hit the like button while you're waiting. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notification. All right. Okay. So Femi's brother came to the house to pick a few things for his brother, a few of the brother, and said they saw calabash, a sign of voodoo preparations. Calabash in the part of house, although they don't know how true that is. Apart from fighting Femi, the matter don't turn wah now, as the family is also not taking it lightly with Aduke. The matter brewing, and it might turn into a big social media fracas soon as Aduke isn't giving up at all. In all of this, who is at fault? Is it Femi's wandering prick? Why are you judging the prick? Leave the prick alone. Or the pepper body house wife Abina FUNKE. So why is FUNKE in this? Okay, well, FUNKE was on the set and she doesn't want them to work together and all that kind of stuff. Now, who is at fault here? In your opinion, who is at fault here? What do you think? Is it FUNKE? Should Funke know from previous relationship that she shouldn't be coming too close to Femi Adebayo anymore? Is it Femi Adebayo, or do you think Femi Adebayo is actually hiding something? I bet the wife should just go and rest somewhere. I'll give you this possibility, right? I don't know if this is true or not, but sometimes this is not sometimes. The health of your household is always your responsibility, men. That's something you have to hold yourself accountable to. Why? Because that's your power. Okay. Sometimes men would have some relationship, even though it's platonic, but it's a very funny, sticky one that is obvious that your wife is not comfortable with this person. And also the way you continue to make them feel uncomfortable, and you don't know what to do with yourself. There was a show that my wife and I used to watch. It's called Married to Medicine. It was Simone and I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. Simone and something. Is it Sizu? I think it's Sizu, right? And the guy was hell bent on keeping a friendship with this one girl that he used to go and play tennis with every weekend. And even though Simone wasn't comfortable with the girl, and he was just... Now, I don't think you necessarily have to write off your friends. It's all in how you handle the case. It depends on your specific stories, but there's a real reason why she's uncomfortable with that person. And if that's never addressed, it's going to create friction, and it can mess with your work. Yes, it can mess with your... Imagine you go to work and then your wife is storming your place of work and then creating a scene. That's not cute, right? Not cool. Yeah. So I'm not blaming the man. There's a difference between you have to be responsible for your household and the order in your household, and being blamed for everything that goes wrong. If you're thinking blame, it's no wonder you are experiencing what you're experiencing. If you're thinking responsibility, then you'll be asking like, okay, so what could I have done a little bit better? All right, but let me know what your thoughts are about this. Whose fault is it? Is it Funke? The wife should go and rest, or the wife? What's your take on this thing I just read to you? And I will move on right now. I will look forward to your comments later. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Moving on. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Natasha AKPOTI criminally charged by guess who? Okay, by guess who? Wala. There's problems. So anyway, let me just be clear. I'm not taking sides with Natasha. I don't trust any of these politicians personally. All I've always asked for is the way the Senate responded to the sex allegation against Nigerian Senator President Akpabio by Senator Natasha AKPOTI. The way they responded to me was cowardice. Okay, they should have at least pretended that they were taking their time. There's no need for that kind of rush to suspend her, took away everything. They said, oh yeah, but that's not what the initial case was. They were accusing her of moving seats, and then she come with like, it doesn't matter. Now you're presented with an allegation. How you move is still your responsibility. How you respond or react to that is your responsibility. And it was just another opportunity for the Nigerian politicians to make an ass out of themselves. But they keep getting away with it. You know why? Because they are a function of the people that put them in the office. So I can't even judge them too much. Okay. But what are we dealing with today? She just caught a criminal charge, which means the federal government has filed charges against her. And what is the charging saying? What is it saying? Let me pull this up. Where is it? Where are you? Hold on 1 second. I have it somewhere here. There we go. Okay. Nigerian government files criminal charges against Senator Natasha AKPOTI Uduaghan. The Nigerian government has filed criminal charges against Senator over allegations she made during a live TV interview, claiming Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi Governor Yaya Bello plotted to assassinate her. You remember that? When she flew in with the helicopter into her village and everybody, yeah. It was nice. It was nice to see. But if you thought that was over, you ain't seen nothing yet. The case filed at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory lists the Federal Republic of Nigeria as the complainant and AKPOTI Uduaghan as the sole defendant. The government accuses her of making statements, and I quote, knowing or having reason to believe they would damage reputations, an offense under Section 391 and 392 of the Penal Code. Speaking on politics today on Channels Television on April 3rd, 2025, the senator said, I stand, and I quote, I stand by what I said. Akpabio met with Yaya Bello to eliminate me. Why did he withdraw my security if not to make me vulnerable? Okay. I've faced violent, dangerous politics since 2018, and I've always had security. She claimed a suspension from the Senate left her exposed, unlike her colleagues. Weeks earlier on, at a rally in Kogi State, remember that one she flew with helicopter, AKPOTI Uduaghan alleged Akpabio first asked Governor Ododo to initiate her recall. When Ododo declined, she said, Akpabio approached Bello, Yaya Bello. And I quote, there were two parts to the Hilton meeting. To fund my recall, and two, to arrange my killing, she claimed. Akpabio told Bello not to do it in Abuja, do it in Kogi, so it looks like the people did it. We informed the police. The charges come amid wider controversy in the Senate involving sexual harassment, allegations, intimidation, and suppression of dissent. AKPOTI Uduaghan had earlier accused Akpabio of sexual harassment but was later suspended for 6 months officially for misconduct. To their credit, I'm reading this from Instablog Niger. All right. It is not over until it's over. It's not over. All right. So here's the thing. It's not over until it's over. Okay. It's just a game of. It's just political game. Okay. They're gonna go drag it out. She's gonna go report to what's their name? I don't know. Is it the security agencies? And they're gonna probably try to do some kind of bail, whatever, and she'll go home and she has just another case in the court. And if she knows what to do well with it, she'll get more popular with it. Like I've said before, I don't think she's going back to the Senate. Why would she want to go back? A lot of people, particularly men, don't really believe her. I don't know why they're attempting to believe or not believe her, because I don't think that's relevant. Okay, there's nothing to believe or to not believe about sexual harassment in Nigeria. It is what it is. Majority of them will never see the light of day, and it's a very difficult thing to prove or disprove, you know. But people are trying to say, but she was enjoying everything else until she didn't have her way, until she was removed from the, what is it, chairman of local something, right? So they're saying she knew what she was doing, you know, and now suddenly she wants to cry wolf. All right, granted. Okay. Here's what I'll tell you. How many of them are in the Senate again? Women. How many women are in the Senate? In those Senate seats?
Oh, beauty.
You never see anything yet. So they are vulnerable. They are the most vulnerable in our society. Before children. So you have an opportunity to showcase that you care about people, not even about women necessarily, but about people in general, about people, human rights and stuff like that. As a government official, as a Senate president, you have an opportunity to say, no, I do care. But you're gonna, in their face, tell them, no, I don't give a, right? You're gonna keep doing that, and you know, it's gonna get in your head. One day it's gonna be over. You're not gonna be able to do it anymore. You're gonna be capsized from that office. And I think Nigerian politicians, they don't see that coming yet. Does that mean that AKPOTI Uduaghan, she's innocent? It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant, okay? Because like I said, yes, she did enjoy that atmosphere. She was a lot of people saying, they're saying that she enjoyed a lot of favoritism and okay, she turned her back against you now. Suddenly, you're still responsible for how you respond, senators. Right? So if you're going to come back within 24 hours and say you suspended her and took everything away from her, it tells me that you don't know what you're doing, and you think you can keep, because back in the days they would do worse than that, but there was no cameras to see it. So I think a lot of people are stuck on, oh yeah, mockery proves something. Oh yeah, she's used to doing this. That's like, okay, she's used to doing that. That's the more reason why you should be patient and go through due process, right? Oh, but she should answer to the misconduct first. No, once they brought sexual allegation against a person, that person cannot preside over their own case anymore. Or let me tell you, it's not. I know you're about to get technical with me. You cannot make it even look like that at all. You can't afford for it to look like it at all. Okay, if you can now, there's going to be a time that you won't be able to afford that. You don't want to wait until that time before you start controlling yourself. Have some self-control, right? To the point now that guy who was presiding over the committee responsible for suspending her, now he's been exposed. He has a bunch of criminal past from New York City. So this is how women brings you down. Exactly. That's the reason why you have to be careful. That's the reason why you have to be careful. Precisely. Any excuse you give right now and why you think she should be suspended right away and all this, like including this case. Now, this case is just another opportunity to fellow Jubangba. You're making it bigger. You're making it wider. You're focusing on it, so it's going to expand. Okay? So, as you can see now, everybody's carrying. The biggest journalist today is Instablog Niger and Ida AKG. Maybe they have a couple other bloggers out there. They are the biggest journalists, not the Oyinbo speaking ones. I'm telling you right now, straight up. Okay. So if those ones would take it and run with it and make it wider, she's just going to gather enough sympathy. Again, will drag you. So I see some comments here. Somebody say, on top say she alleged, okay, this is the Momo 5 actually. On top say she alleged sexual harassment. Now, wow, Niger. Why haven't they arrested Yaya Bello yet? Because it doesn't matter. So again, we're not exactly surprised. It's just that I'm putting this out right now because one day they're not going to be able to get away with this. It's not sustainable. Okay. I support Natasha. Come rain, come sun. I am really ashamed at the Attorney General of Nigeria. This is very shameful coming from government. They're saying that she knew that she was going to mess up reputations. Well, it's just a case. They will answer to it. That's all. Justice for Natasha. Don't worry, love. God knows the truth and he shall stand for you. Somebody was actually telling me today that there were cameras, that they were holding hands, and they didn't look like and they assessed sexual advancements by the one that was claimed by Reno Mockery. That's toasting. They said sexual advancement is not toasting. I said it's toasting. It's toasting now. Anyway, it's not that deep. They should at least learn how to answer to cases first before we worry about everything else. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified when we go live. What do you think about this? Do you still believe Natasha? Abi, do you still believe that Natasha is just a spoilt, pretty brat? Somebody said she thinks she be only fine. I said I never said she's fine. I never said she was fine. Do you think she's fine? Is that your issue? Are you trying to say that fine girls cannot be a victim? What are you trying to say exactly? You keep telling on yourself. Anyway, that's all I have for this one. Moving on. Hit the like button, like I said. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. As you're doing so. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Remy Ma and Papoose. Remy Ma and Papoose. Who is Remy Ma? Who is Papoose? Well, Remy Ma is an American rapper. She's the young lady right next to my head, right there. The husband, ex-husband to be, is Papoose. Papoose waited. Remy Ma caught a serious case years ago. I think she gave somebody an upper fade with a bottle of glass. So somebody got hurt real badly. She ended up in jail. I think she went to jail for 10 years, something like that. I don't know, 6 years. She used 6 years. And Papoose was so, Papoose was there, waited for her while she was away. Papoose was very loyal to a fault. When she came out, everybody praised Papoose. Everybody said, Papoose is that man. He waited for her. I said, make sure you know what you are doing. You know the same thing with Cassie and Alex Fine, the new husband. I said, I pray for him. I hope he knows what is it's when you are carrying that kind of emotional weight, it is a lot. Don't come back later and say, I did this for you, I did this for that. It's not going to fly. You will just be called a manipulator. And this is what a lot of Mr. Nice guys do. They come back later on and they try to collect on all their investment. And I said, I thought you were being nice. No, it was an investment. Oh, so you were doing it because for yourself. You were just being selfish. Instead of you just be upfront, just be you. Well, I don't necessarily think they're pretending always, but Mr. Nice guys are very dangerous people. All right, because they will expect you to reciprocate just as much. Whatever as much means in their head, they expect you to reciprocate as much. Now, I don't know if Papoose is one, but he's giving Mr. Nice guys. So today, as of today, well, yesterday, this young lady in red, she's the side chick, official side chick now. They're dating. I call her side chick because, and I say official because I'm being respectful, because she's publicly dating somebody's husband, ex-husband to be, but at least they're ex-husband to be. So that situation is supposed to be over. Maybe like last year or something like that, there's a guy that completely exposed one of the battle rappers, street battle rappers, completely exposed Remy Ma, messing around with Remy Ma, that Remy Ma had been seeing somebody else. Okay, apparently the guy was in the battle with Papoose. Papoose is known as one of the greatest, one of the best, don't let me say one of the greatest, one of the best battle rappers out of Nigeria, out of New York City. And actually, I'm not sure if it's New York City, but somewhere in the East Coast, but he never really became a big star on his own. What really made him become a household name is Remy Ma. Okay, remember Lean Back, Remy Ma, Fat Joe, right? Remy Ma is big, and he was able to tap into that, but people who are hardcore hip-hop heads, they probably know him. I don't know one single song by Papoose. So but we can't use me as yardstick because I'm not really hip-hop at all. So what are you, Ola? You're not hip-hop. I am 80s 90s R&B. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, that's it. The farthest I can go into the future is R. Kelly, and you cannot judge me or drag me for that either. He's serving his time. He did the crime. He's serving his time. So anyway, let me see. Antonia First Lady. I'll come to that case in a second here. So Papoose, right? Papoose. So Remy Ma is talking for the first time. She decided to talk. So I'm gonna play this video and then we'll talk.
Nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me because I ain't do nothing to nobody. Nobody in the whole situation should have any ill will towards me. Nobody. I mean, you're just mad. You're punching the air. That my air. I've never breathed so freely in my life. Okay. I couldn't take it anymore. I said, hey, this ain't what it is. We can't keep doing this. We talking about people being truthful. Truthful?
All right, so let me pause. I'm gonna pause and play. If you want to watch the whole video, go find it somewhere on the internet. But she's saying some things here that I want to highlight. Oftentimes people say somebody cheated and somebody blah blah blah, they cheated. You guys spend so much time consuming infidelity-based stuff. Okay, and oftentimes the issues are deeper than whatever it looks like on the surface, especially when people are talking about, so she cheated on him, whatever, blah blah blah, right? Some people say, well, if you have not officially separated yet, you cannot be with another person. Well, that's your own personal rules and laws. The reality is that an average person who feels like they are done with a relationship, they will do all the wrong things even if it feels right. No, sorry, they will do all the wrong things if it feels right. Okay, and they will justify it. And if you don't let them justify, you'll be on your own. Okay, that's just how the human brain works. Okay, that's why I said don't worry about all that right and wrong stuff, because the reality is that people's feelings is really all you should be paying attention to. Because if they feel right, they will do it all. They will do everything you want, even if it's wrong. They will do everything you want for you, even if it's wrong. So you can actually be on the receiving favor side of that if you just understand that people's feelings matter. It includes you, your own feeling, the one you are camouflaging as logic. Yeah, that one too is feelings. Yes, it matters, and that's what you should be paying attention to. And stop lying to yourself and telling people to turn off feelings. That's unrealistic expectations of human beings. They're not capable of turning feelings off. The best they can do is lie to themselves, calling themselves logical. That's the best. Okay. Some people can express more emotional ways, but doesn't mean they don't have emotions. Okay. Or it doesn't mean they lack emotions. All right. So she's saying that she was done. A lot of time, what I've had, or situations I've had lots of is men that will come to me and say, well, we're not done. No, but remember you told me like 6 months ago she said she wanted out of the marriage. You remember that? Oh yeah, but doesn't mean we're done. No, that time you were 6 months late. She was done 6 months before that. Oh god. Like, but that's not fair. Oh, you want fairness. Oh. Okay, fairness. Okay, all right. You want fairness, or you want your power back? Not power over her, but your own power. It's confusion. People are confused with this, Like, no, let's be fair. Well, it's too late because they don't want to be fair. Okay. What is she saying? She's still talking.
The truth, you will probably literally, like, people will cry. Nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me because I ain't do nothing to nobody. Okay. Nobody, if they knew the truth. Like, literally.
She said if people knew the truth, because Papoose had been he's talked on a few platforms, I think. I haven't paid attention to it. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And if you tell me I should have done my research before the show, your papa. Okay. Your papa. Thank you, Tonya. Thank you for that kind comment. Thank you. If you come to my comment and tell me I should have done my research before the show, your papa. Okay. All right. So I think Papoose had been talking. He's done most talking so far. So people are sympathizing with him. I always tell you, the best the public can give you is sympathy. They're not capable of empathizing with you. They can't really help you. Okay. You need real empathy. You need people that understand where you're coming from. You need people that understand that and then hand you the tools to navigate out of that funk so that you can actually have a wholesome life. But sympathy of the public can only do so much, right? You can throw this girl under the bus all you want, but bottom line is that she was done. How she went about it, could she be better with it? Yeah, but when we're in the funk, most people we all make a mess out of the situation because we don't know what we're doing oftentimes, right? So does that justify it? No, I'm saying you're still stuck on justification and fairness, and that's not helping you. Instead of looking for your own power, you're still stuck on justification and fairness. And unfortunately, this is not the court of law. Even if you go to court, you can only go as far as civil. Right? You can't take this to a criminal court. Right? They can owe you money, child support. Maybe they can take some visitations away from them. Whatever. You can drag each other. The government will allow you to drag yourself as much as you want to drag yourself. That's the best they can do. Okay? But you're not going to put anybody in jail because they broke your heart. It's just not going to happen. What should that tell you? Okay, there's no way around this. Okay. All right, so hit the like button, hit the like button. I'm supposed to finish this, but this is getting sweet. Button. So, but this is an example of what people go through and they don't know what to do with this. This girl was done long before Papoose realized that, yeah, that is over.
Literally cry. Like cry. 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 I look at it now and I feel sorry for old girl. Like I feel sorry for her.
That's the
because
side
I
chick.
know the circles that's being ran and wrapped around over there. Like
She says she feels sorry for Clarissa. Clarissa is a boxer, by the way. Clarissa is so excited about the relationship. You know, new puppy love that her and Papoose found. And, you know, so of course she's excited. So she was on the radio yesterday with the Breakfast Club. And she had a few things to say, you know. Slight here and there. She tried not to touch on it, but she did, you know. Wrong move. You know, but you know, she's excited. What can you know, when somebody's in love, they're in love. Now they'll call themselves logical later on after they don't collect, but it's okay. So she's saying she feels sorry for her, you know, because of part of it, no yali. I don't know how to say that in English. If you come into somebody's situation and you're now the newfound fave on the street, you go collect yeah. You probably should enjoy the sex. Just understand that whatever happened there before, you go collect.
Sorry, yo.
Hey, it's okay. Love hurts. Somebody said love should not hurt. What do you mean? Human beings hurt each other. They hurt the people the closest to them. It's just what it is, right? So, hurt people too, right? So she's still talking. She says she feels sorry for Clarissa because Clarissa is excited right now and she's done, but they have kids together. Let's keep listening.
I would cry. I feel bad. I feel bad. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Hello.
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 Is that Bronx?
Oh,
accent?
I'm on live. I thought you was calling me to tell me to get off live.
She said, I've never breathed so
How am I
freely.
going outside? Because I'm not sitting.
When a woman said, I feel smothered, or a person, because some men say that, but it's usually women that are ready to dump you, that will say they feel smothered, right? She said, I've never breathed so freely on top of somebody else's bola, but again, there's a good likelihood that she was done, and the guy refused, like, no, we're not done. And now it feels like somebody took his rights away from him. You should at least divorce me. So now he's dating somebody else without divorce. She's asking him to please sign the divorce papers now. And he's like, no, I'm gonna paint this relationship all over your face in public. Anyway.
Here telling y'all everything that happened. That in a marriage, if you've never been married, you understand? If you've never been married, you wouldn't understand the bond that's supposed to be between two people, if they knew the truth. Like literally cry. Like cry. I look at it now and I feel sorry for old girl. Like I feel sorry for her. Because I know the circles that's being ran and wrapped around over there. Like I would cry.
No, she's in love. It is what it is. You two move on. She's in love.
You wouldn't understand that. You wouldn't understand. Hold on, what you say?
So this is Shalaye mode. Once you enter Shalaye mode like this,
We go explain because no evidence.
She's doing a live session. She's explaining to people, a bunch of people that have, you know, she tried for more than a year, I think, right now. She's tried, but she's crumbled under the pressure. So now she's explaining to a person, a random stranger on the internet. But, you know, it's content for us. But this is what it looks like. It says, after staying quiet for months, Remy Ma let it all out in an unfiltered... Wow, this is longer than I thought. Remy Ma let it all out in an unfiltered, Let me see here. In an unfiltered Instagram live that shook the internet for over an hour, the Bronx rapper opened up about her split from her husband. Papoose slammed false rumors about her health and directly addressed Clarissa Shields. Remy Ma didn't mince words. She revealed the couple has been separated since May 2022 and is currently she said they slept in 2 different bedrooms since May 2022. If you're sleeping in two different bedrooms with your girl, maybe it's just silent treatment. It's just silent treatment. You didn't expect it to go so far. And wait, just keep doing that. I don't know why you think that's sustainable, but keep doing it because something is going to break at some point. By the way, it broke already. Okay, anything past 3 months, personal philosophy, personal. You can borrow it. If you haven't had sex for more than 3 months and it's not because of medical reasons and you're sleeping in 2 different bedrooms, that marriage was over. But what about the paper? You should file divorce. No, that's just paperwork. By the way, after you sign that paperwork and it's finalized, you have children together, you're still stuck together anyway. But you see that romantic thing that you are feeling entitlement to, a sense of entitlement towards, lose it. It's over. It's been obviously over. Okay, so, but that same controlling behavior will not let you let it go. And then you come out to the public and try to paint the picture that this person cheated. There's a good chance you both cheated on each other, okay? And cheating is not always sexual, right? But you cheated each other out of life, right? That's what you should be paying attention to than a matter of quikus and prick. You're more concerned about somebody inserted quikus to prick or somebody was masturbating somebody's mind sexually. That's the only one that you call cheating. What about the fact that you guys have been cheating each other out of life and you call it marriage? Either by way of small silent treatment, emotional abuse here and there. Every time you said something slightful against the other person, every time you're caught up in your feelings and you just want to be selfish for an extended period of time. That's cheating. That is cheating. So the idea that you expect that person to stay there and be waiting for you, that's called the Lulu now. She said, I've never breathed so freely. So they've been separated since May 2022 and is currently awaiting finalization of their divorce. She retained a lawyer but claims Papoose has yet to do the same. So the same behavior is yet to retain a lawyer, according to her at least, right? And no, she's not holding up the process. She wants peace, not problems. She says, I'm the most content and at peace I've been in a long time. Well, she's doing Shalaye too. Yeah. She's doing Shalaye too. It's tough. It's tough on people when they're going through this kind of stuff.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, it's tough. But I think that marriage was over a long time ago before the whole world said, oh, she cheated on him. And a lot of men are in denial when they find this out. And then suddenly they wake up and they want to put it together and it's just too late. Or maybe they go through backs and forth. They had one sex, every other sex every night, and she's still confused. She's like, I think I'm done with this, right? Let's keep playing a little bit more.
Listen. I know what people care about. That man, he cares about what y'all think. I don't care about what y'all think. Like,
yes,
unfortunately, not trying to be funny.
Stop
I
the
appreciate
cap.
my fans and people that are actually my fans and that love
Yes,
me.
you do. Yes, you do.
You understand?
Yes, you do. You do.
But I don't care what people think. Can't nobody with a revolving door on a coochie tell me I'm for the streets. I've been with the same man.
Okay.
I was with the same man for almost 20 years. Can't nobody tell me I'm for the street and make me feel some type of way? Are you crazy? Can't nobody tell me, oh, you fumbled it. It's so funny watching people like, you had a good husband. He's only had one wife. The only person that can tell y'all if he's a good husband or not
is the wife.
You wouldn't understand that. And when he was, I told y'all that. I told y'all. When she was cool, when she was like, when it was what I thought it was, I kept it a being. When it's not, when it wasn't, I ain't say nothing. I dealt with it. I ain't never met a bitch. I've been waiting for somebody to just use a little bit of common sense. I ain't never met a female who has a perfect dude that takes care of her, helps her financially, emotionally, physically, is there for you, treats you like this wonderful thing, right? And you just say, you know what? I don't care. Fuck this whole shit. Who does that? No.
Logical people. But no one is logical. All of us are liars when it comes to logic, but I get what she's saying.
Nobody. Oh, everyone looks so much happier now. Girl.
If you don't get that,
man. And when he was, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay.
Don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay.
The fuck? The fuck?
What does that mean? Was he homeless or was she homeless? Which one? Who is in love?
I literally told him.
Is that her saying I took him in?
Every time your current come up says my name or does something that I feel is trying to...
Okay, he's homeless because he doesn't have a home to come to, a girl to come to, so he fell in love with the other girl so fast. That makes sense.
Attack me in any type of way, I'ma drag you. I'ma drag you. And I haven't even been dragging him. Bad enough, you got my daughter's mom out here looking crazy because you refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022.
Wow.
You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing.
Ouch. There was one time they were parading. If you go to Black Love, they were there. I think they were there. But they had like this hats, the Black Love hats. Everybody was so happy. Let me see if I can find. They were so happy. Got to be careful with this thing. So Black Love Papoose. That was a thing. They were selling hats. They were, they even did a whole song called Black Love. Oh, look at this. Look at this right here. And I'm not going to play it because of copyright thing. But let me see if I can find an image. Let's see it. They were so in love. She say, Ninja, that was your thing. That was all you. That must hurt.
That was the only thing you had. And I realized that. And I
basically, it wasn't bringing in any income. That was your thing.
Respected that. You know what? I don't need to be out here telling people you ain't this and you ain't got this and you ain't doing this and you ain't.
Oh, so it wasn't shit according to her, but they were just
whoever get you, they'll see. They'll see. I seen one of these. She was like, she said there was others. Who are they? I want to know. Do your own homework.
So she said she's not gonna tell on him. Anyway, let me see.
No. Well, why she outed me? Well, why she outed me? Cause you loud. I know he cares about his personal image and what people think. I needed that. Expected that.
All right, so I'm looking at this comment. Somebody said, I don't even care for Remy, but she looks good and her skin is clear, so I believe her. Okay. That's weird. Believe her because of her skin. Someone said, I'm married, and the first thing I noticed was she went the route of zero accountability. Makes it hard to credit anything afterwards. There's a lot of lame married people. Some of them have been married for 60 years. This don't mean shit, okay? It doesn't mean you have the game, bro, to know anything. You have unrealistic expectations from a complete stranger. She owes you no accountability. I can pick out what she's accountable for just by listening to her express herself the way she wants to express herself. All right, I'm not expecting her to come in and paint herself badly. That is your unrealistic expectation. What I can tell is that there's a lot of men that their wife dumped them a long time ago, and they are holding on to titles and what is right and wrong, and there's a lot of men that are dealing with that. So they don't come out and try to play the victim. Yeah, a lot of men, they fall into this. And that's all I'm saying. You know, are they supposed to let you know and instead of cheat, just leave? Yes. But that's not the reality. What are you going to do with the reality? That's your power. What would you do with the reality? You don't get to control how morally standing a person that don't care anymore is. Remember, they have their own consequences and wait for it patiently, but get your own power. And it's definitely not in holding somebody who doesn't care accountable. You're wasting your time. While our society is like, this is not just society. Start from your community. You lost your household. Let's start from there first. Just wish this would have stayed private. It's not anyone else's business. Yeah, I know she started to do shalaye, but she tried. All of us will fall for this, you know. All of us, you know, you can crumble under the pressure of the comments.
Let the poor breathe.
Yeah, so hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your. What do you think about all that? What are your thoughts around that? I just think a lot of people are delusional when it comes to this relationship of a thing. They want it to be dutiful, as in DUTY. It will be dutiful when people feel right. Okay. Worry about your own side first. Make it your duty to make sure that your partner feels safe around you. That goes for both sides. If you're complaining, you have much more power than you realize. Engage it. And if the person doesn't feel right anymore, one of the first things they throw right out the window is their sense of morals. It's not an intentional thing that they do. And if you call it they do intentionally, it's yours. It's up to you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We're going to move on to another story real quick. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Married but emotionally alone. My silent struggle. I thought we should finish this live stream today by responding to one of our comments. So I'm going to read it and then make a commentary on it, and then we'll call it a day. I appreciate you for being here, either as a replay, a rebroadcast. I appreciate you. So please do me a favor. Hit the like buttons. Thank you for joining the Prestige family and being a part of all of this. Okay. Married but emotionally alone. So I'm going to read the comments and then we'll take it from there. All right. The person wanted me to conceal their handle, so I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to read. So somebody said, my husband is exactly like you are describing. So we did a show called Daddy. No. All right. I'll leave it alone. I don't want you guys to go looking for the comments. Anyway, my husband is exactly like you're describing. He is emotionless. He says he's a straight shooter. You know, men say they're a straight shooter. I just tell it like it is. Women do say that too, by the way. They say, oh, I'm just a blunt person. There's a good chance you're just a rude person, just so you know, okay? But I won't tell on you until I catch you like this. If I catch you like this, you do like this and you escape. So, but if you're calling yourself, I'm just a blunt straight shooter. I feel like I see a lot of women say that, but men do say that from the standpoint of saying they're just a manly man. So I call it like it is. Me, I don't call it like it is. I'm the one that's lying. Okay, continue. Anyway, so she's saying husband is exactly like I described, a straight shooter. He says things as it is. She said, I am exhausted. I just keep quiet because anything becomes argument. He's clearly caught up in his emotions, because a man who argues extensively with a woman is an emotional man. You can write that down and take that to the bank. Okay. You as a man, you find yourself always in argument with your girl. I don't know what always means to you, but if other people can call it always, it's probably always. You are an emotional being. That's number one. All of us are emotional beings, but you are caught up in your emotions, which is not good. Being an emotional being is just what it is. It's neither good nor bad. Getting caught up in your emotions is not what you want to be, not especially as a man. Anyway, so anything becomes argument. Nothing one suggests makes sense to him. It's tough to study him. This is a very tricky one. The idea is not to be studying him. Okay? There is a difference between studying him and having the active listening skills. The active listening skills is not just something that you do with your husband. You do it with anybody you interact with. It's a skill set that will pay you lots and lots and lots and lots of money, but will give you lots and lots and lots of mental health stability. Like you can't be bothered. As in, like, peace of mind is written on your forehead, right? Active listening. Studying is like active work that you probably can't sustain. You will just get exhausted studying people. So I don't really teach people to be studying people. This, maybe in terms of interpretation, there's a fine line between studying people. It just sounds very stressful, right? And active listening is something you do from a place of rest. It's a place of abundance. You know that you don't have to have all the answers. You're just looking to learn. You're looking to learn something new. What is there to learn? You should learn everything before marriage. You're lying to yourself. You're a liar, like the rest of us. It's unrealistic. Most of the things you're going to learn about your spouse is after the wedding. Okay? That's the reality. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do premarital counseling, get to know them. But get to know them is not the same thing as interrogating or studying them. Okay? You should be having fun. If you don't feel safe, you don't feel like it's fun, it's probably not fun and you probably shouldn't be in it. Okay. So, she said, if I'm trying to start a conversation, he responds with one word or two most times. Okay, so he's exhausted. He's caught up in his feelings, number one. Just because somebody is silent doesn't mean, right? But if somebody's responding one word, two word, that means they're kind of tired. They don't want to engage, right? Now, that would be with respect to, was that person always like that? When he was in love with you, when he couldn't wait to bring you home as his wife, was he like that? We need to go back to that. That person is the person you're looking for. Okay? That's the person that you're looking for. That person that feels so safe around you. And they could still be two words, but that's maybe they're a man of a few words. If that's really who he is, he's always been that guy. He didn't change on you. But if you're noticing it right now, you're putting that in the same context of arguments, or he's a straight shooter, or he's using it as an excuse not to engage you. Because she continues here, she's saying some more stuff right here. Then you have to pay attention to that. But pay attention does not mean study, no. It just, like, that is a sign, a telltale sign that it doesn't mean it's not emotional person. It just means it's shutting down. She said, if I'm trying to start a conversation, the response, okay, we hardly have conversations. I am emotionally drained. A complete narcissist. All right. I'll let that slide. He's devoid of love. So I understand he's not able to give it. These are the result of studying people and not listening. Okay. This is your husband. So I'm not sure you can simplify it into he's devoid of love, so he cannot give it. I'm not sure. Now, personally, I can't disagree with you. I would like to know a little bit more of the story, right? She said, he believes buying you something will shut you up and you don't have the right to complain. So he cares, okay? But he doesn't want to talk. But was he always like that, or something changed at some point? Or is this see finish, or does it think it can take you for granted? How much energy exactly? What does it look like when you're studying him? What does that look like? Are you watching from afar? I wonder what that looks like. Or be you engaged in an argument? What exactly does that look like? I would need to know more. Meanwhile, I'm not jobless, so I do 80% house chores. He is just emotionally unavailable. He lacks emotional intelligence. All right. So all of these are diagnoses. I believe you, but it doesn't tell us much. I like to know how these things play out in real life. I need to know the real stories. I need to hear more of things like he answers one word or two words. I would like to see example of that. Right? I would like to see example so we can teach you how to respond to that. Responding to that doesn't mean words. For the most part, it doesn't mean words, okay? It's a lot more than just your words. But anyway, he lacks emotional intelligence. I'm exhausted. I would have subscribed for your session. Oh yes, you can book a session with me after you download my book at manofprestige.com. There's some stages you have to go through. You have to get the course and all that kind of stuff, and then somewhere there you'll find how to book a session with me. But you have to go through my program first. All right. So I would have subscribed for your session, but trust me, he won't attend. So this is one of the people that assume that they need their partner before they can work on their relationship, right? But what do you mean? Doesn't it take two to tango? Yeah, it's a tango. That means there's a dance, right? But it took somebody to ask for your hand in a dance before you joined the dance. You weren't born on the same day, and then one day simultaneously God was raising this person as a twin here and a twin here, and then simultaneously you're coming, and then it takes two to tango, and then you find that's not how it works, right? People had all kind of lives and stuff like that. One day somebody asked somebody out, and right. Why would you want to wait for your partner before you work on yourself and your own skills? It makes sense when you say it takes two to tango, but it doesn't make sense suddenly. If you're saying I'm exhausted, why would you want to wait for the other person before you unexhaust yourself? Because we're a couple, it's not fair for one person to work on it. Yes, that's the kind of stuff you hear on social media, but it's not fair for you to wait on the other person before you work for yourself, before you work on yourself. It's not, how is that fair to you? See, this whole fairness thing is discombobulated. Anyway, I'll leave it alone. But the answer to that, if it's a question at all, I doubt if it's a question. None of this is a question, but let's just help you make it a question, because other people might have the question. You don't have to wait for your partner before you work on yourself, so you can attract the kind of relationship you're looking for, so that you can attract the kind of interactions you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, you can't force these things. You will be attracting what you're attracting if you stay being the same person. So that's that for that. He won't attend. It's not relevant. Okay, he shouldn't attend. You shouldn't be able to manipulate him to attend any kind of sessions with anybody. Okay, why? Because there's no reason for him to attend. It's not a painful experience for him to say no to you. He will continue to say no to you, right? There's nothing. What take me to what happened? What, you go and seek your own session. Let me guess. I think she said something to that effect here. He won't attend. I know this because I have brought it up before. So she brought up counseling. Let's attend counseling. And what did he say? He said he doesn't have time for that. I should be the one to go fix myself. I am one of the guys that said that in the past, until it was almost too late. So I can relate with him, because it's not there. See finish. See you for granted for many reasons. Maybe he's busy with work. Maybe he's stressed out at work. Maybe he's just a narcissistic person, as you said. Well, for whatever reason, he doesn't see, there's no value in him following you to a session. It's not a right or wrong. He doesn't see the value, right? Well, you talk to your brother to see the value. Okay, brother, see the value. Now, let's go back to you being exhausted. Do you want to count on that? That's not fair to you, right? Why would you want to wait? Remember, the idea is not that you do relationship by yourself, but you should understand that the reality is that it takes one person to influence the other person. There's attraction that has to play out here. You have to gain your power back. What about your seductive skills? Do you even know what that is? Well, this is duty. Marriage should be about duty, is it? Is yours about duty? I don't think so, based on this story, right? When people feel like they can take you for granted, even if it's wrong, that's exactly what they will do. It's not an intentional thing. It's mostly subconscious. They're trying to cope with life. Life is tough, life is difficult, and sometimes they do bad behavior to cope, including potentially throwing their whole family away. It's sad, but it's true. So the guy will now say, he said he doesn't have time for that, that I should be the one to go fix myself, because he thinks you're the one with the problems. Is it right? I think it's wrong, but it doesn't matter, because if my wife is wrong, that makes me wrong. Does he know that? He clearly doesn't know that. Could you go and just tell him now and say, hey, if your wife is wrong, that means you're wrong too. Go try it. Let's see how it works. Right? Because people's feelings are always what is operating at any point in time. Okay, so he's just going to get caught up in it, or maybe take it as disrespect and say, that's what I've been telling you. You're just so disrespectful. You're like, disrespectful. Me that I haven't spoken for like 20 days because I'm just trying to study you and I don't understand anymore and I'm exhausted. So now you holding the resentment, guess what? Because if you can't talk to him, you don't feel like friends in the same household. You don't feel safe. You're going to bottle in a lot of your feelings, and it's not a healthy place to be, right? All right. He said he doesn't have time for that. I should be the one to go fix myself. I just smile because I know someday I am gone. Just because you're gone is not the end of it. You know, everywhere you go, there you are, right? Are you responsible for this? Remember what I said about attraction, seduction, attraction, influence? Yes, you are influencing him to behave the way he's behaving. It's not your fault. But you're in the same context. We call it marriage. So the way you behave does influence, and vice versa. There's actually a dance going on already. It takes two to tango. You guys are tangoing. You just don't like the kind of tango that's going on, right? So what are you going to do about it? You're going to have to change something. Okay, something has to change, right? Or, you know, you could just wait until one day you're gone too. But just because you're gone doesn't really fix the real issue, because everywhere you go, there you are. You might just go and replicate the same thing. It might look different initially, kind of similar to Papoose and Clarissa. Clarissa is the new girl on the block, right? You might find a new boy, a new somebody who makes you feel good. They will make you feel good. You know why? Because they're new. They're new. It doesn't mean you shouldn't move on. I'm just pointing it out, let you know that, hey, you better know what you're doing when you do move on, right? So one day you're gone. I hope you see this comment. If you want to respond, please cover my undo. You're good. Let's go. People go look for it themselves. You're good. I got you. I got you. Chidima, you still there? Oh, Chidima, you hung out with me. I know you're probably taking care of the babies, trying to catch your sleep and all that. This is not our regular time, so I don't know. When it comes to the timing of the show, I still gotta figure something out. Because I also do want to do some daytime shows, so I don't know. We'll figure it out though. But let's just keep dropping the content, you know, because I know you guys have my back, and you guys appreciate it. She said, I love how unbiased you are. You are answering the woman who wrote in the same way you will respond if it was a man. That's why I don't understand those who say you pander to woman. Because they don't want to hear the truth. When people don't want to hear the truth, they say I'm pandering to the other side, right? Believe it or not, there are women that have come here and they couldn't stand it because they feel like all those single mother videos I've done, those have turned some people off because people don't like to hear the truth. I expect that precisely. I understand it. Okay, that's why they suffer long, man and woman alike, because they don't know how to face the truth. And that's okay, because I also call out people that are truth tellers. Well, the issue here are self-accountability. Always self-accountability. You want to hold other people accountable, you have to know how to hold yourself accountable first. Self-awareness. Where are the opportunities for me to be better? Where are the opportunities for me to go to the next level? Those are the questions that winners ask themselves. Winners are not looking for people to hold themselves accountable. They're busy. They're too busy holding themselves accountable. And so because of that, they attract the best experiences because they're not really looking for anybody who is falling short. And that doesn't mean they're appeasing everybody else. They understand taking care of themselves first, always, mentally, emotionally, and of course, physically. Yes, physically, okay. They understand that that's the key to everything else. Everything is key. When you have the key, right, you can move effortlessly. Okay, but when you don't have the key, you go just the para everywhere. You don't look for people to agree with you. You're looking for people to validate how you feel, and you call it, I'm just being logical, I'm just being blunt. Bluntini. Anyway, married but emotionally alone. A lot of people are going through this silently. It's a silent killer. On my show. Thank you, Chidima. I appreciate you. I appreciate Uncle Beno for stopping by. I appreciate Antonia for stopping by. And I appreciate everybody that will watch this later. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live, when we drop videos. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.